This is Frank Hilton of Free Bass Lures with a special report. Maine's soft plastic ban. In 2013, State Representative Paul Davis Sr. submitted a proposal to ban rubber lures for fishing in our lakes. The bill was introduced because of the concerns for possible wildlife and fish fatalities, as well as the possible harm on the environment. The committee came to a resolution that a study should be done on the effects of soft plastics on wildlife and the environment, and that the Department of Inland Fish and Wildlife would handle this research. On January 28, 2014, I attended this hearing at the Cross State Building at the capital of Augusta, Maine. Biologist Dana DeGroff presented the report, and his first point was about the effects of biodegradable and soft plastic baits on the environment.
The constituents of biodegradable soft plastic lures are not fully advertised, and there are no established standards for what constitutes a biodegradable soft plastic lure. There is no or very limited information on the time period for soft plastic lures to biodegrade. Manufacturers are currently not required to list the ingredients of soft plastic lures, which makes evaluating the effects of discarded soft plastic lures on the aquatic environment difficult to determine. The department conducted a cursory field assessment and data review to determine if discarded soft plastic lures in Maine's freshwater lakes and ponds could be quantified. The department also evaluated the degradation of biodegradable soft plastic lures in fresh water. Multiple piles of discarded soft plastic lures were observed at the toe of public boat ramps underwater. One of these piles I observed in Tricky Pond consisted of approximately 10 to 20 soft plastic lures that were in a pile right at the base of the boat ramp underwater. To me, this was indicative of anglers purposely dumping used soft plastic lures after fishing and prior to trailering their boat out of the water. The majority of soft plastic lures observed in the regional waters surveyed were the following variety: worms, twill-tailed grubs, and lizards. During the department's fish stomach content database search, soft plastic lures were documented in 5.2% of lake trout or togue surveyed from the Sebago Lake in Region A between 1994 and 2003. They're also documented in 3.2% of lake trout surveyed from Sebec Lake in Region E between 1985 and 2008. Only 2 ingested soft plastic lures from lake trout caught by gill netting, or 0.4%, were documented in Region C's database from 2005 to 2013. The department documented soft plastic lure ingestion by other salmonids and largemouth bass between 2004 and 2012 in 22 southern Maine waters. Brook trout and lake trout had the highest occurrences of ingested soft plastic lures. Bass tournament organizers volunteered to submit soft plastic lure discard and recycling information to the department in 2013. The results indicated that out of approximately 500 participating boats, approximately 310 pieces of soft plastic lures were lost during the fishing. There was active participation by anglers to collect and recycle soft plastic lures, and as a result, over 12 pounds of used or discarded soft plastic lures were submitted for recycling in 2013. We were asked to provide recommended legislation as part of this report. Requiring the sale and use of only biodegradable soft plastic lures is currently not a solution. There is currently no standard, national or international definition for what constitutes biodegradable plastic and soft plastic lures specifically. Based on the information presented in the report you have now, the department does not recommend any legislation at this time.
First time I've seen this, and just looking at it, it doesn't appear that there's a big problem as far as fish ingesting things from the bottom or anything else. Is that a fair statement?
It is not a problem?
Yes. I mean, I'm looking at 0.4%, and then the other one is 2 ingested soft plastic lures from lake trout caught over an 8-year period.
Right.
So
the rates of ingestion are quite low and not indicative of a major problem. As you read through the report, what became very apparent to me was that it was more of a littering issue in a lot of lakes and ponds that are open to recreational fishery with families and kids, as opposed to some of the waters that I surveyed that hold larger bass tournaments. The number of discarded soft plastic lures was extremely higher in some of the family fishing areas. And Big Lake, which I surveyed in down East Maine, that holds a number of bass tournaments, we didn't survey very many soft plastic lures at all.
In the family fishing areas, they were higher, you mean on the bottom?
Yes.
They weren't in the fish.
Yes, absolutely.
Despite finding substantial problems caused by soft plastics being littered throughout the southern part of the state, Maine's Department of Inland Fisheries and Wildlife did not recommend that soft plastic lures, SPLs, be banned, and I quote Dana Groff. Based on the information presented in this report, the department does not recommend any legislation at this time. The most damaging evidence in this report for the bass fishing industry is that soft plastic baits are mostly a littering problem. However, the committee was impressed with how Maine bass fishing clubs around the state are already involved in collecting and recycling soft plastic baits during tournaments. The good news is that everyone is committed to minimizing the discarding of soft plastic lures, educating anglers, and preventing the spread of these lures along the bottoms of our lakes. Even though this bill is dead at this time, it should be a wake-up call to all fishing anglers across the country that if we don't stop littering our waterways, we will lose our privilege to use soft plastic lures. It's just a matter of time. Please recycle your soft plastics and do not litter our precious waterways.